Hello everyone, Edo here, and across the kitchen I have
HuMei.
Okay. Hello everyone!
Ta-da!
Ta-da! So, what we're going to be doing is that we'll be going over a special video here. Say, who am I? Where are we right now? What city and what state?
We're in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And what are we doing here? What did we do here?
We went to Gencon.
Gencon Indy 2018. So, this was quite an adventure, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So, what did we do is we started out, we started driving from northern Maryland on Friday, August 3rd, starting out at 6 o'clock in the morning. And, well, that was an adventure going all the way through the turnpike, going through Ohio, and finally making it all the way here to Indianapolis. So we got to get in here about 4:30 p.m. and then what we did was we decided to stop on over at a game store that's out here that Tony, one of the proprietors of Neverland Games, is an old acquaintance of his. So we decided to visit the store there a little bit and picked up a couple of items there just to show our appreciation. And the staff was absolutely nice. Shane is, yes, absolutely awesome there, and everyone was very helpful. The thing was that we didn't get here in time enough to go to the dealer's room on yesterday because it closes at 6 o'clock. I recall it's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. as I recall. So what we decided to do was there was a little shuttle service that Family Time Games was running, and we went out there, got our badges, cased the joint. So we got to see where the dealer room was and a couple of different other things there. And so today was the big day, and we got up at 6, took that bus on over at 7, and hit the Indianapolis Convention Center at 8 o'clock-ish, wasn't it?
And by the way, the bus service was provided by Integrity.
Yeah, Integrity out here. Yes, it's pretty. The later one that we got was pretty nice,
really
but
nice,
yes. Yeah, all the drivers were really nice, really nice individuals here. So if you're in this particular area and you're looking for a limo service, I would suggest going with it. But yeah, since we got there at 8 o'clock, we had 2 hours to burn, so we sort of waited around and everything like that. And
kind of camped out as close to the doors as they let us.
Yes. So what we did was we talked with a nice couple that was there from an hour south or something like that. This is one of their vacations for the year. Yes, it is. And I want to hit 10 o'clock, or just before that, they had a little introductory, welcome to Gen Con type of thing for this particular day, the opening day festivity, so to speak. And then when those doors opened, then what we did was we decided to go and hit all of a number of different I'll use the word stalls, tables, areas where the various big dealers and small dealers and all that were. Because we did have a map that we put together of where we wanted to go and what particular vendors, because there was a map. So we highlighted the ones we wanted on the map. We actually wrote down what those dealers were, and we made like a big circle around to get all stuff. So, what was the first place that we attended?
FFG.
So, what does FFG mean?
Oh, it's Star Wars to me.
Well, it's Fantasy Flight Games, of course.
But it means Star Wars to me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, we did have, that was the first one we wanted to pick up because Tony, over at Neverland, wanted us to pick up 2 items for him. One was Heroes of Terranoff, and the other was Keyforge. Something like that. And when we asked about those, they said, well, sorry, those are just demos only. Okay. But, the other reason why we stopped there, or the reason you stopped there, was what?
X-Wing, and if there was any on Legion.
Yes, okay, so, well, what we're going to be doing is, for the rest of the video here, we're going to be going over the stalls that we hit, along with any special surprise things that we ran into, and we're going to show you the ill-gotten gains that we paid for, pardon me, from the staff there, and I hope you'll enjoy seeing what we have to offer here. So, what we're going to do is, we'll show you the stuff that we got from FFG in just a moment here, but the rest of the video we'll go over each of the different stalls and then what we got from there. Okay everyone, this part is going to be pretty much who am I, because he's the one that went absolutely bonkers on the Star Wars type of stuff. So,
let me explain real quick why I went bonkers. I had heard through a rumor that or through some things I've seen written up, that FFG wasn't going to be bringing a lot of demos or stuff to sell. And
this
by the time we got there, I figured there was going to be nothing there.
This is going to be X-Wing 2nd Edition.
Right.
So yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, well, we got, since it started on, start Wednesday? We're going to start Thursday.
Thursday.
It started Thursday, and we thought, hey, look, the main day that we're going to be doing all the shopping is on Saturday.
Right.
And we thought, well, you know, they're not going to have anything left, but you know what, it'd be nice to get it. Boy, were we wrong.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so, go for it. What you got? What's the first thing you picked up there?
First thing I got was the new core set for
2nd Edition. And when we bought it there, what happened?
We also got a free extra damage deck. And I think it's a special
T65 damage deck. Yep, not for resale here. So we got that here. What's the next thing on the agenda?
Well, one of them I was looking for big time because I love the Protector Starfighter. You've seen from previous videos. I got one of those, and except here it's called the Fang Fighter. Can't wait to open these up with my friends back at home.
So you know, grab 2 of those. That way you can show them 2 at once.
The next scumbag one I got was the Slave one.
Yeah, I probably need to pick that one up if I go to 2nd Edition here.
And
I was about to say grab 2 of them at the same time. Yeah, so.
And I was going to figure out grab the 2 Imperials. We got the TIE Advanced X1 and the TIE Fighter. Look pretty much like the others. Not much to say beyond that, except that I loved when I saw the mining TIE, the mining guild TIE. That's going to be for Scum and Villainy, I think, in the next future.
Okay.
And then we have for the Rebels, the T65 and the BTLA R4. And
now you made a comment a little earlier when we were down there. We were looking through the stuff, we were waiting and just resting. You said the new Y-Wing has more detail?
A lot more detail. It's even got the turret mounted on the top. It's just gorgeous. I got to watch it on drool on the floor here, and then we'll slip the phone. But and then the one that shocked me, because I was not expecting this at all. They had the new Millennium Falcon out, and we were walking by, and what did you notice when I grabbed this?
Yeah, I said, you looked over and said, hey, look, that's the new Millennium Falcon. There was one box on top of the stack, and as soon as I blinked, it was gone. And I know, then HuMei has it in his hand, and he's putting it with the stuff. Like, okay, so not that. So that's this, but this is, as you said a little bit earlier. Well, this is Lando's Millennium Falcon, and that's also a Scum and Villainy one, which is really interesting. There, you said there's a pop out in there. Or something,
yeah, the shuttle or whatever, it pops out, and what we've been reading up on, it looks like it'll make one heck of an interesting guided missile, because it can go for 3 turns. And then it just blows up whenever it runs out of energy. So you can set that sucker up to get into a little TIE swarm or whatever, and just eat them alive.
Yeah. And then what I did was, while I was there, I also picked up a 2nd Edition one. This was not so much for myself, but maybe just another one for the store. Maybe someone in, maybe, you know, tournament prize or something like that. But also through bought there, I also got one of the T65 X-Wing damage decks and whatnot. So I think does that pretty much do it for Fantasy Flight games? Because there's nothing else. We did take a couple of pictures. For Legion, they had the new stuff out.
Yes, they had the
and whatnot.
They had the Wookiees, and they had Chewbacca, and they also had 2 like Cerberus droid units out.
I can't recall.
I haven't seen anything. Yeah, I've got them pictures of them.
So what I'm going to do is that HuMei's going to get the pictures to me, and then I'm going to put them up on the screen here, perhaps there. That way you can take a look at them. And you know, of course, you're going to be taking with cell phones and all of that. So maybe the quality might not be the best, but I think it's still going to be good there. Yeah, well, neither am I with some of the fuzzy photography that I took with my phone over the last couple of hours. Also, there was. What was the big thing about Armada?
Armada has got a 2.5 foot executioner.
That wasn't like that long, wasn't it?
No, it was more like that long.
That's more than 2 feet. More than 2.5 feet.
I don't think so.
Oh, you know what?
That thing was huge, and it was. I'm just looking at it going like on a 3x3, a 3 foot by 3 or 3 foot by 6 foot table. That thing's going to take up most of the table when you put it on the edge of the table.
Of like final boss material.
Yeah.
Of whatnot. So it's like, get all those, and then you have all the rest of the rebel fleets and everything, or you know, units or whatever maybe go after them and whatnot. Okay, I think that brings Fantasy Flight Games to an end here. So what we're going to do is then, the next place that we stopped is going to be the Paizo booth. Okay then, for the Paizo type of stuff, the main reason why I wanted to go there is that I run Starfinder campaign, HuMei is part of that, and I wanted to pick up the Armory, the Starfinder Armory book that was due to be released early at Gencon here. Unfortunately, when I got to the booth, and it was not that long after the FFG trip, they had it marked off on their list of stuff there, so it probably sold out maybe Friday or Thursday. It was a bit disappointing, but what I did was picked up 2 figures for members of our campaign here. One is, it was the Ultronus Iconic Kasatha Solarian. So we have a Kasatha, the 4-armed individual, or 6-armed, 4-armed, yes, 4-armed individuals in our campaign. So this is going to be given to that player. And also, we also have Navasi, the iconic human envoy. She's the sort of Asian-looking individual, short hair on the front cover. She's one of the iconic heroes. So we do have an envoy in our campaign. So this is also going to be given to Tish here. Since she's playing the envoy, and of course this is going to be out to Josh and whatnot. I don't think there was anything else in... Oh, we picked up... they were giving out buttons.
Yes.
Yeah, we got Pathfinder buttons. Apparently every day they were giving out a different button. I wanted to get the Starfinder one, because once again I run the campaign, but they gave it out on Friday, and we weren't there to make it there. So all in all, it was sort of a short trip to do that and everything like that. So what we'll do is we're going to go on to the next stall that we stopped off at. Okay, next one we stopped at was, very briefly, it was just for me, it was Flying Buffalo Games. I've ordered a couple of, well, not a couple, a number of Queen's Blade, the dual books off of their website many years ago. I wanted to fill in a couple of holes in my collection, but I completely forgot to make a list of what I did have and then compare it to what they had. So, unfortunately, I just picked up one particular book. This is going to be, I believe this is Ryofu from, originally it's from Koihime Muso, which is a, the Japanese video game series, but she's a character in Queen's Blade, Queen's Gate. So it fills up one additional slot in my collection. And I think that was about it for Flying Buffalo. So, time for the next stall. Okay, the next stall that we stopped off was Corvus Belli. They're the makers of Infinity. We did have one particular request from Rob on over at Neverland Games. He said, hey look, they usually do a Gen Con exclusive figure or whatnot, so we actually got to pick up one. They had plenty of them there, so there is no problem with stock. This is the Dart Optimate Huntress Convention exclusive miniature. So, well, it says it's compatible with Aristea and Corvus Belli Infinity. So, we got this to give on over to Rob. So, time for the next stall. The next stall that we stopped at was Ares Games, and there's only really one particular reason why we stopped there, and who am I want to do it, and why was that?
I am a fan of the original Battlestar Galactica series, and Ares is coming out with a Battlestar Galactica, I guess, flight simulator, or it's a
miniature game. So it's sort of like, it looked a little bit like X-Wing in the type of thing. It is there, but, and I'll put a picture or two up here, the ones that I was able to take pictures of, we weren't able to take place in like a little demo of it because honestly, not only this stall, but almost every stall out there always had people there all the time demoing games, learning it from the developers. But anyway.
Well, they said, I think it's this coming September or December. No, December is when they're coming out with the game. The first release will be actually from the new series, and I'll say this, the miniatures look gorgeous, they really did.
And like I said, I'll have those two up here on the screen here, just for that way you can...
And what I'm looking forward to is the classic series. They're going to be releasing them as well very soon. And I'm looking forward to them, because that's where my heart is. I'm just a diehard original Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, so we're sort of looking at that here, and I don't know, depending on if it's like a large mass battle game, or depending on also the cost or whatnot, maybe something I'll jump into. If you're doing Battlestar, then I'll probably have to be doing Cylons or something like that.
Well, no, honestly, if I can get it, the main thing I want to use it for, if anything, is for display. I'm just a big fan of the show, and if I have those sitting up, heck, I might even mix them in with my Star Wars stuff to see how many people notice them. Notice with if they're, or notice them even mixed in there.
Yeah. So, well, okay, time for the next booth. Okay, so the next big stall that we hit was Privateer Press. They're the ones that do War Hordes and whatnot. Oh, and we completely forgot to get some of that information on that new science fiction game that they were doing. We completely forgot about that. But what we did get to pick up was it's the new Monster Apocalypse, or should I say the renewal of Monster Apocalypse. If you weren't aware, that was a collectible figures game that Privateer Press put out about 6-7 years ago. But they brought it back as an actual minis game. Now you got to print all this stuff, but I picked up the core set for the Protectors. This is the giant robot with I think that's 5 tanks in it. I haven't actually opened it up to take a look at all the stuff. And then also picked up the Destroyers starter set. That has Gardra and a couple of other, like 5 other little minis as well. Contrary to how their collectible game was, where it's pre-painted, these are not pre-painted. So you're gonna have to sit down and actually paint them. And because they weren't able to get the dice in for the convention, they give you a pack of dice along with it. So that was pretty neat to have that. And then, of course, I think I got a nice War Hordes. Looks it's a thin bag, but it also functions like a backpack too.
I like that when I saw that. That worked very nice.
So I think that does it for about the Privateer Press stuff. So what we'll do is we'll go on to the next stall. Okay, the next stall that we stumbled on over to was Gale Force 9. I don't think we had anything specifically in mind for that, but we walked by it, and then you saw some stuff that you want. What did you get?
Well, what I found was Battlefield in the box. It's some terrain. They've got 3 different laser turrets in there. And they're perfect for X-Wing scale, and might even be, they're solid.
They're definitely solid. This has to weigh like 5 pounds or something like that. It's dang solid, yes. And if you would take a look at it, you can probably, maybe I'll try to find a picture of what the actual front looks as. You look like, yeah, that's Death Star cannon and big cannon and little turrets, whatnot. So,
but if it's great for X-Wing, and although it's definitely not the right scale, I figure I could still use it for Legion because it still might work for that.
Or you could use it for terrain or whatnot.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little pickup here, and then you're going to be mainly using it for terrain, correct?
Yep.
Okay then. Well, then we're going to go on to the next stall. Okay, the next one that we had on our map here was I want to stop at Cubicle 7 Games because I have fond memories of an old game book series called Lone Wolf. If you're not familiar with it, it was back in the, let's say, late 80s, early 90s where it was just about everywhere. It was probably one of the most popular ones, and if you're not familiar with the Lone Wolf series, please do go check it out. Originally, it was a very simple RPG in a choose your own adventure with some combat in it. You pick your skills, and you got endurance / hit points and all of that. So what happened was that Cubicle 7, originally with Joe Dever, who was the creator of Lone Wolf, they got together and they actually made a full-fledged RPG based on these particular characters. And HuMei is not really aware of it, but
I was there with you, but I didn't know what was going on.
Yes, they had Lone Wolf deals a lot with main things called their Kyle Lords. Basically, what you could say is they're Rangers with levels in Monk and Psionicist. Okay. They lost it, but I'm getting over on that. They had a couple of different books for the line. I thought I had most of it. They had like an atlas. They had an adventure book. I believe both of those are more recent, but I didn't want to grab both of those just at the moment because what it was, I just picked up the narrator screen for whenever we do run this. I don't know when it'll be, but I wanted to fill another hole in my collection. So that's the main reason why we stopped at Cubicle 7 Games. Okay, the next particular stall is another one that I wanted to stop at just very briefly. Was our Talsorian Games. They've been in the business for a long time, and what I want to do is I want to pick up an extended, or pardon me, a revised edition of an old RPG called Teenagers from Outer Space, and it deals with teenagers from outer space. Do you remember watching an old cartoon called Galactic High?
I do remember seeing parts.
Where basically all these aliens came to Earth. It's a comedic game, and all sorts of powers. It's supposed to be zany, sort of like Toon, but with like more of an anime manga influence kind of thing. Well, I have the old edition from like the mid '80s, and I decided that I wanted to get the most updated one. So it is the anime comedy role-playing game, total anime silliness in a world of teenage manga mutants. So, you know, lots of different zany stuff going on. May run it at one point, but our particular groups, I think, can only stand so much zaniness before we tend to go insane.
Well, our guys tend to bring their own zaniness to the game.
Touche. Okay, the next stall that we went to was, we really didn't have much of a reason really to go there, but a friend of ours, CJ, he said, hey, you know what? This particular company by the name of Ulysses Spiel is coming out with a 40K RPG. And at first I thought, oh, they're going to be continuing the stuff that Fantasy Flight did with a couple of theirs. No, apparently it's a D6 based system or whatnot. I don't know, I haven't read through the book or whatnot, but we went on over there to get information about this RPG. And they didn't have information, but they actually had the core rule books on sale. So we decided to pick up a couple of them.
Yeah,
I won't tell you. We're not going to say how many were, but there was also something you got as a bonus for getting 2 of those, whatnot, for not related to the Wrath and Glory is the name of the RPG. This is the core rule book here. Kind of heavy there. They gave you like a bonus thing for the other German RPG called The Dark Eye.
And it's the Leander Gaston, a graphic novel in the world of the Dark Eve, or the Dark Eye.
Yeah, so that is another. I bought like the condensed version of the Dark Eye. Still trying to get through it. I'm not entirely sure if I like the mechanics of it or not, but to be fair, if anyone's reading watching this video here and saying, well, you know, the Dark Eye is great, I haven't given it a full look on over to see how the rules are, so if they appeal to me or the rest of our group or not. So we're going to have to give it a little thought there and whatnot, but a couple other games to play before that. So, time to go to the next booth. Okay, and this one I'm doing with a bit of trepidation, but the next one we stopped at was a stall called Kingdom Death. You probably know what's coming, but let's explain it anyway. Kingdom Death is a... Don't give me that look. Kingdom Death is a sort of very high, I should say very, yeah, it's a very high-end miniatures game. So sort of like survival horror. It's almost like boss battles and stuff. Absolutely beautiful sculpting. Absolutely beautiful sculpting. I gotta say it again. Absolutely beautiful sculpting. So normally this thing used to sell out quite a bit. They've went through a couple of different Kickstarters, so I guess they have enough to continue to put this thing out. And you know what's coming next.
Well, hold on. He didn't want to actually, he wasn't sure if he wanted to get it. I think we got it.
Eventually I said,
don't get a hernia.
This is Kingdom Death Monster. It's the most current of the rule set. 1.5, I believe it is. This thing weighs 20 pounds. It's 20 pounds of plastic and cardboard. I think there's a hardbound rule book. I got some pictures that I'll put up that hopefully will be family friendly or whatnot. But yeah, this was the largest purchase. Don't you dare say how much it was. It was the largest purchase that I made, and some people say, oh yeah, it's worth every penny of it. You can go look on the website and basically see how much it is. And
I have to agree, the sculpts are gorgeous. It's worth every penny.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I'm not over buyer's remorse just yet. But what I did was I got this as well as 2 particular figures here. If you just wait a moment, I'll go and grab them. The 2 of them, one is a pin-up sci-fi Twilight Knight, and oh, did I forget to tell you that most of the female characters are pin-ups? Yeah, and I cannot recall what the other one is. I think it's a sci-fi savior, something like that. What I'll have to do is I'll have to take a look at my receipt, see exactly what it is, and put it up on the screen or whatnot. But 2 extra figures there. There are a couple of them. They had like large boss figures, but I wasn't 100% sure what the pictures were, because what happens is that for their larger boss models, what it'll do is that it won't even have a picture. It'll just say, you know, just an emblem of a something or other, a crest, and it'll just say like the Lion God or something like that. Doesn't really give that. What you have to do is you have to go around in their little cases, display cases, take a look at what those are. And I should say that for a couple of these stalls, not just Kingdom Death but other ones, they actually had like little stanchions to make like a line where you couldn't just like rush them all or anything like that. And some of them actually limited you, like only 3 people in the area that could buy stuff and whatnot. Didn't get to take part in any of the demos or anything like that, simply because we had time. Yes, didn't have time there. So, man, that was a lot of money. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go on to the next stall. Just a moment. The next particular stall that we stopped at was, heard a lot about this RPG called Lamentations of the Flame Princess. And what it is, it's, there's a certain renaissance of going back to old D&D, not Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, but old D&D, like the box sets and all that, using the rules to recreate the set. That way you can use some old rules with it, or you can create new adventures for use with the old rules. And there's a lot of Inside Baseball. You can go ahead and check on the Open Gaming license on various places. But that being said, I think the author was there. The gentleman's name, James Edward Rocky IV. Got the player core book Rules and Magic. What I did ask was that the DM's guide is going to be forthcoming. He's going to be having a copy of it ready for view by attendees of a German convention. I forgot what it's called. Spiel something or other. Sorry.
It's in Germany.
Yeah, and unfortunately I said, sorry, my budget doesn't include going to Germany just to take a look at the, looking at the DM's guide. But when you bought this, you got one of the adventures they had for free, which was this. I picked up one called Death, Frost, Doom, and apparently it's won a couple of awards, a number of awards. They had like a list of them on their sort of like cramped little booth there, and decided to pick that one up. And I read through it a little bit. It seemed to be kind of interesting. I haven't given it a full one here. I should warn you that if you're going to be looking up Lamentations of the Flame Princess, or you'd like to pick it up, it is down the bottom here as 18+ explicit content. It is like a nightmarish horror D&D, but there's also some art in here that's not appropriate for polite company, let's just say here. So I just wanted to see what it was all about, so I'll eventually give it a read through and see what it is. But both these are actually hardbound, which is kind of neat. I was expecting a 8.5 by 11, but it's actually a smaller size here. So what we're going to do is we are going to go on to the next stall. Just a moment. Okay then, for one of the final stalls that we wanted to go to with a specific purpose in mind was Game Right.
Yeah.
And what it is, they create a variety of different games, but some of our favorites are Forbidden Island and Forbidden Desert. And apparently you were aware, but I wasn't aware until earlier this week, that they're coming out with a new game called Forbidden Sky. So we're like, well, we need to go and interrogate them for some information here. You will tell me details now. So, they had it there. We got information on it.
But we couldn't get a copy of it.
we couldn't get a copy of it. What happened was that they were limiting the number of copies per day. And we were just a little bit too late there. However, we did get a special bonus there. The creator of the game, Matt Leacock, was there to show basically how Forbidden Sky is played. And HuMei and I were fortunate enough to actually be there. We actually got pictures with him. Really nice guy.
We were underneath going, we're not worthy.
We're not worthy. No. Yeah, nothing really that. But yeah, I went up to him and says, "So you're the creator, huh? So it's your fault, huh? That we enjoy this game so much." And he was a very, very nice guy.
Wonderful.
Yes. What I do is that and he has his own website. He's a game designer. All that. I will put that up on the screen just because. It's fine. Once again, we got pictures, and we got to. He got to explain how the game was played to us, and we told him, hey, look, we sold multiple copies of Forbidden Island and all of that. thing is that what happened was like, if you got the game there or pre-ordered it, they gave you a promo card. So I said, oh, okay. I wanted to go get my promo card signed by him. So by the time that I went to the register that was right next to the table, and then pre-order, put it all in my information, turned around to give him the card, he was gone. And we tried, like, something like that. Tried 2 or 3 times later on to go back, just see if it was there. He wasn't there. I don't know, maybe I'll write the company or whatnot. But if I don't get an autograph, that's absolutely fine. But we got the pictures, and like I said, I probably put them already.
He told me that I didn't know that the games were all linked.
You didn't?
No, I did not know they were all linked.
Yeah, I kind of figured that Island and Desert were linked, but what happened is that in, just a spoiler for Forbidden Sky, when you start the game out, you start on a tile that has the airship that you completed from Forbidden Desert, which was really interesting. So I was like, I just don't know how they got... Well, then again, you leave Forbidden Island in a helicopter, and as I recall, you crash land in a helicopter. So yeah, that's it. So we asked him, so you're working on the next game in the series now, aren't you? He says, well, who knows? Which means he's going to be working on it. Because, spoilers, you're supposed to be, you go up into these like a sky continent or platforms in the sky, and the whole goal is to, you explore, and there's this rocket ship that you actually have to power. And it's actually electronic, and it'll have these actual plastic/metal discs that you put down, and you could put these large wires. They're made out of plastic, but they have the 2 contacts at the end, and once you build it based on whatever the requirements are for the game there, the actual rocket will actually light up and give a couple little sounds and whatnot. But it was very, very good. I really enjoyed meeting him there. That is definitely one of the high points of our particular excursion over here to Indianapolis here. Okay, then what we did was, then we stopped at a number of various other stalls as we were walking through. No particular rhyme or reason why. We were just, saw something, ooh, that looks particularly interesting. And then one of the things you saw out of the corner of your eye was?
I.C.E. They used to make one of my favorite role-playing games, Space Master. And we went in there and lo and behold, they still have Rollmaster, very updated.
Yes, a new one. No, it's classic. It's classic, but then I think they have an updated one as well.
But unfortunately, no word on a future Space Master. But
yeah. So the staff was pretty. It was really nice.
They were awesome.
Yeah, we got a picture there, and they were kind of impressed that HuMei was like, oh yeah, I got all this, and I got all these books and all this stuff. So we did hand some information over from business cards from Neverland Games. So perhaps they will, might be offering some of their products there. And let's see, a couple of other places that we went. I don't know what. Oh, we stopped at the Star Realms.
Yep.
The Realms, Hero Realms, the Realms company where they do, once again, Star Realms, Hero Realms. If you attended the con there, you could get a card here that would, you get the Star Realms app for free. It's $4.99 value. You get it for like Android, Windows, Apple, I guess, I don't know what that, Google Play, and Steam.
Yep.
And so there's a little code down there for that. But also they are advertising their new Kickstarter for the second part of their campaign deck. The first one was like I forget what it is. I'll put it up on the screen. But this one, the Lost Village campaign deck. No, this is this for this here. And then there are 4 expansion packs called Journeys, also for Hero Realms. But we saw that they have the new base set for Star Realms as well, which is kind of interesting. Went through, got a nice little dice bag. It's nice, like it's not like it's like velvet or whatever the heck is on the outside, but got a nice interior there. And there was one particular group, one stall that was selling a lot of old collectible card games. So I picked up some a 4-pack of old Universal Fighting System cards. The main reason because it has 2 Sakura decks in it. So I was wanting to make a deck based on that, but there's no one that really plays Fighting System around where we are. So what we'll do is we will go on and do a little bit of a wrap up here. So just a moment. Okay, so basically before this all started, once we finally got here on Friday, we went over to Family Time Games. We did pick up a couple of items from the store there. Let's start off with you. What did you get there?
Okay, well, first thing, one of our friends, Chris, He's big into Star Wars Legion like I am, and he's been able to get the Snow Troopers. Got 2 packs of Snow Troopers for him. That'll make him very happy. And then I also got from, some terrain for Legion. We got walls and looks like a Tatooine mini tower, I think it's those. And we'll be enjoying that in our Legion games.
Yep. And then what I did was I bought the, if you didn't know, Legend of the Five Rings changed hands from AEG, Alderac Entertainment Group, to became a Fantasy Flight Games property here. And I don't know if they bought it lock, stock, and barrel, but you know what, it's besides the point. It came out with a living card game version of it instead, and I picked up the first 2, was the Dynasty packs, so additional cards. If you're familiar with living card games, when you buy stuff, you get like a full play set, and then you just get to be able to build decks with that. In the long run, economical. And you know, if you're into that, maybe you like to rip open booster packs, but that's going to be something I'll leave up to you there. So, you know, Funtime Games, yeah, that's a huge store.
Yeah,
it's a huge store. It's like 1.5 billion square feet.
If you're in the Indianapolis area, go there and check the man out. I'm telling you what, he's all that.
Yeah. So, so what we do is, what's your final opinion? I think it was a worthwhile trip here.
It was a wonderful trip. I know I'll sleep when I get home. But...
Oh yeah, because once again, this drive is. The drive is just a little over 8 hours, but if you include breaks, stops, and all that, it's roughly 9 hours. And we'll probably leave again here tomorrow morning, honestly, on Sunday, probably around like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and get back onto the Eastern Seaboard at 4:30, 5:30 in the evening there. Overall, it was a very educational experience here.
Well, for both of us, our first Gen Con.
Yeah, so a couple of things to really do. If you're going to be attending Gen Con, don't know where it is, but or maybe any big convention. I don't know if any bigger convention than this, but if you should be attending Gen Con, a couple of different things you should do is that make sure you book in advance. You know, get your tickets or your register for your badges and whatnot. Perhaps say, hopefully just after opening, as close as humanly possible, because they can run out real quickly. The other thing I suggest is what I did here, and well, HuMei did, sort of a team effort, was you can go and print off the map of the exhibit hall. And what I did was I put it on 3 sheets simply because I didn't have a large section of legal paper to put it on there. But what it was, highlight all the places you want to go, and then go up to the map and actually write that particular place in there. That way you don't have to refer back to them all the time. And then we actually did, like, once again, a big circle almost. It was a little bit wavy. We did that. The other thing to do is make sure you bring some sort of cart with you. Oh dear heavens, I could not think of carrying all of the stuff that we bought just by hand. My back would have given out.
Just pushing the cart got to be a little heavy.
Yeah, so now what was it? We use the term old lady shopping cart.
Yeah.
What's the metal ones? They give you a little bag in there. Trust me, yes. Trust me, bring something that you can carry all the stuff. Even if it's a little Red Ryder wagon or something, you just do not want to be handling or just carrying all this stuff.
I know this. We're walking through, and how many people come up to me and was like, our cousin was like, "Oh, that's awesome. You're brilliant."
Yeah.
And people walk around with these boxes, and they're like,
yeah. I mean, perhaps it's just the day that we're here, but apparently Saturday is supposed to be the biggest day because all the people are off.
Yeah.
So, this is, so I didn't see as many people with carts as I thought I would. But then again, I also saw a couple people with only like 1 game or 2 games, so that was a little bit manageable. But if you're coming all the way out from wherever, maybe those individuals, what they did was they were near the area and they just went and dropped it in their room and then went back. I don't know what it is, but if you're going to be staying outside of the city, sort of like we are, and then using the shuttle that Family Time Games has, what I do is make sure you have the cart. The other thing to do is make sure you budget yourself.
yes.
Make sure you know what you want, and then give yourself a little bit of extra money to splurge on, because
You don't know what you want to see.
Exactly. HuMei, you were going there just to get the 2nd edition box set.
Yeah, and some stuff for other people.
Yeah, and then
I didn't think I was going to get. Yeah.
Poof! There were all of, no, not all of, but a lot of new ships, and it was like, and you got those there.
Went from about $50 to well over $200.
Yeah, and then I'm not going to tell you how much I spent.
Well, that was just the one stand. I ain't saying how much I spent either. They don't need to know that.
Yes, so that's one of the things to do here. The convention center was not too bad. They have a little eatery in there, which had an absolutely wonderful pulled pork sandwich.
Oh yeah,
yes, and it was
$11.
Oh no, $10.
$10.
It was $10 for that. For that, it had chips with it, a pickle, and then a large drink for $10. Which is really, if you think about it, you've been a lot of different places, Disneyland or all sorts of tourist traps or whatnot. You'll know that is actually very inexpensive.
And it's a very large sandwich.
Yeah, oh yeah, actually, yes. And the point was, I forgot to get napkins, so I had to go, and it was like dripping down my hand. But it was actually very, very good.
His fingers were dripping good.
Yeah, the finger looking good. Now, the next thing was that, oh yeah, once we got in on Friday evening, we parked and then we went to White Castle.
Yeah.
First time I'd ever been to White Castle. And then you said, when was the last time?
Last time I was there, I was like 14. I'm in my 50s now. So it's like a thing from memory, and it wasn't as good as I remembered it, but it was still okay.
Yeah, I mean, same with me here. You know, you see what's that movie, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, whatever it is. Not a bad set of sliders and everything like that. The taste was a little bit different than I thought.
Right.
Sort of had more of a, was it a fried onion or grilled onion flavor to it.
I had the grilled onions in it.
You know, I know, but it seemed to be a little more. It just didn't add to it. It seemed to be like that. But the ones with the cheese were better. Then there is a. And just this evening, there's a restaurant out here, I guess in the Midwest, started in Indianapolis, or just Indiana. Yeah. I'm not sure, so don't kill me if you're from Indianapolis and I'm misquoting this. Called Steak and Shake.
Yep.
They have steak burgers, and they have milkshakes. I'm not a big milkshake guy. Every now and then I'll grab one, but it was a pretty good burger.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good burger.
I was impressed.
And it was relatively inexpensive, too.
Like
wow.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was just, yeah, it was cheap.
Yeah, it was very good.
Okay, everyone, that concludes our Gencon Indy adventure.
I didn't break the camera, I don't think.
What we'd really like to do is the first individuals we'd like to thank are the owners of Neverland Games for sponsoring our excursion out here and really allowing us to attend a big convention of this size. We've never been to Gencon, or you know what? I don't think we've even had like a vacation like out this far. I mean, last time I went anywhere was probably as north as Harrisburg or anything like that in Pennsylvania. The second shout out we'd like to do is give out to Shane and all the staff at Funtime Games out here in Indianapolis, Indiana. They were very, very friendly, helped out, give us, some information about, the con schedule and the bus schedule, all sorts of stuff like that. They were just beyond helpful, and we really do have to thank them on that. And I guess, last thing we do is thank all the, Gen Con exhibitors and everything. Very, very, very friendly when we had questions, even though there were, bad jokes from me about, I'm never talking to you again because I spent so much money on some stuff. And of course they laughed and I laughed, so they were all really good natured, and I know a lot of them were dead tired. They were beat.
You could actually see
you could see them. One girl
still kept it good.
One girl said she was up for like 24 hours, something like that, so my heart goes out to her. Whoever you may be, hopefully you get some rest tonight here. So I think that about ends all of our stuff here. Do you have any last words or anything like that?
Just one last thing to add in again for integrity. While we're mentioning integrity, but limousine service, they took care of us too. And
We had well, one was a regular bus yesterday, and then taking us on over. But we had a nice little.
Oh, it was a limo bus.
It's like a little bus. It had like a little table in there. And we just sat down and we just
two
shot the
TV
ball.
screens. There was one at the front and one at the back of the bus.
Yeah, and both of them. And what was on for the entire ride was just the logo. Okay.
Well, we weren't in long enough for a movie.
It was about half-hour trip or whatnot from where we're currently staying at the Hawthorne by New Wyndham, or New Wyndham by Hawthorne, one of those two.
Hawthorne, Wyndham Suites.
Yeah. So a pretty nice place here. We got a little kitchen behind us and whatnot, and got some amenities and all of that, which is really nice. And I'm sort of dreading the drive back simply because, well, it's the end of the journey and whatnot, and you know what? Hopefully we get to come back next year. Maybe we'll all be rich and famous by then. and then we'll just be able to fly in and just stay at a super, expensive suite or something like that. Yeah, like that's good. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Thank you for tuning in this video here this morning, afternoon, evening, night, whenever you may be tuning in, and hope you're looking for our next video in the future. So once again, this was Edo signing off here, along with
HuMei.
everyone there. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.